Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to disassemble the CZ75 Omega lower frame only. Okay, let's start with removing the magazine and then removing the slide. As of now, you know you have to align those two marks there to take something to push that pin out, fire the hammer and remove the slide. Now we are ready to work on the lower frame. There are a few things we're going to work on. It will be to remove first the safety device, or safety slash decocker, and in this particular case I have the decocker installed, the entire Sear assembly, the firing or hammer mechanism, and then finally the trigger mechanism, and then reinstalling everything. Okay, let's start. Now on this gun, like all my CZ and CZ clones, I remove the brake plate, brake, B-R-A-K-E, like a brake on the car. That's to slow down the magazine from being ejected. For people who do not want the magazine ejected, it will stop it about here. You will have to force it to come out. To remove that spring here, you have to push that pin right there. And for that you need a punch. You need to relieve the pressure on the bottom, so I'm going to use a table to keep it compressed and push that pin out of the way. There comes the pin. Now I'm going to release the punch and the spring comes out. Let's move on, remove the spring. Now I need to remove the entire assembly here. It is on this particular gun and some other guns a lot easier to use a clamp. So I'm going to use a clamp and show a different angle and a close-up on how to disassemble the remaining parts of that handgun. Okay, now the gun is in a vise. We are going to start by removing the decocker assembly. For that, you need to push down on the ejector. Let me do closer. There you go. So this is the ejector, and you need to push down. The beauty with this gun is everything is interlocked. You remove, well, one part will lock another part, which will lock another part. So it's pretty good engineering there. Anyway, I need to push it down to move slightly that decocker. And watch out, there is a spring right there. Very filthy spring. Okay, so I'm going to pull on it, and the spring is still there. The filthy spring. Here it is. I will clean it later, and then I can remove the rest. You just need to wiggle a little bit the lever, and it will come out. Very filthy as well. Okay, and then on the other side, all you have to do is, here is the trigger arm. See, if I move the trigger, the arm is moving. It's locking in place that other side of the safety or the decocker, and I push down on it, bring it up, and it comes right out. It should. There we go. And that's the other part. Filthy as well, like the rest. Now here we have the Sear assembly. You have an other pin right on the side. I'm going to show you. Let's see. Let me move things around. Oh yeah, that clamp here is very practical. Instead of having a clamp mounted on the side of your desk or workbench. I have it mounted right there on the brick, so I can move it around and show you different angles. All right, now that pin here goes only one way. Without the ejector, which we're gonna move up or down, push it down and pull it this way and move it up. And then right underneath here is a small spring I'm going to remove right now. Some needle nose pliers. Grab the spring and you can see it. Beautiful. Okay. Now that pin right here is able to move out by lightly pushing it. Now you have a spring underneath the Sear, so I will just hold my finger on above it. See, it goes out. This way it won't be flying off, but that's not under much pressure. Now if you look at that pin here, you see it only goes one way. It'll go this way, and everything is riding on it. Just to show you that part here, the ejector is locking in place right here. So again, a part locking another one. It is pretty ingenious. All right, and from there, let's go back to the rear of the gun. Zoom, and you can remove the Sear. Let's see if we can grab it. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, nothing too special. And then I'm going to remove another part. I don't know all the name of the parts with the famous bearing right here that you want to make sure it's oil, because the arm make it rotate. Okay. So all this go aside. One more spring right here. Let's see. Then we have that arm which is kept in place by the pin here. Now it's free to move up and down. And when it's activated by the hammer, or it activates or release the hammer. And let's go back to the side here. And you have a pin right underneath there. Now, if I push on that pin, nothing happened. Remember that little arm we had there? If it's up, and we're gonna try to keep it up like this. All right, we'll unlock the pin. It just pushes out. I mean, you don't have springs, and it's just the arm, it locks into that recess right there. Great ingenuity. Oh, let me bring back the gun. And if I remove my pin, the arm, the hammer will come out, all of it. And here is that locking mechanism. You see the hole here? When that part comes down, it will lock the pin. And that is just hold it by the pin again. Everything holds something. And that's it. This is for the back part of the gun. Let's take a quick look. There is nothing else. I'm going to try to zoom in. There you go. All right. Now, next is the... How am I going to do that? Oh, yes. The magazine release. We're going to do it like this here. So the magazine release right here is soldered in place by that pin right there. But there is another pin inside that hole right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a very small screwdriver. I can find it. Oh, right there. So I'm going to go with a very small screwdriver and push on either side of that pin going down. So I can go, how can I explain it? Well, how can I show you? On this side, on that, or to the right or to the left. I gotta feel first. Yeah, I feel it. I push it. You see my my screwdriver moving here. And when I push it, I'm going to lift this one here. This is not the best mechanism. I don't know why they came up with that one. Let's see. Maybe I've managed to pull it out. It's not the best system in the world. Yes, I did manage to pull it out. So we have, remove that pin here. So it's there you go. Here's the pin. It's a small pin. Here is the magazine release with a hole on this side, and you have a little spring that go back on the other side to the hole. Right. And then on top of it is the little itty bitty pin right there. And this is under pressure, and that's where that other part goes locking into. Pretty complicated, but that's the way it is. Now we have the trigger assembly. This I hate because you need a slave pin to go in between. I'm going to give you a link for that one because this is really a pain in the butt. If you don't have to remove it, and you don't for regular cleaning. You really need to remove that pin if you need to adjust the trigger, change it, replace the trigger. What else? Replace that spring. But any other time you don't need to. All right. So that's how far we'll go this time. I'm going to put a link right there on another video I made on the clone, CZ clone, and it works exactly the same. It's organic, identical, and I'm sure if you go with Tanfoglio, it's the same thing. Let's put back the magazine release. So I have that little pin in, and we are going to put back the magazine release. There you go. And that lovely pin that goes here. And to work, I have, okay, I'm bottoming out, perfect. I have to use my little screwdriver. Push on the pin. There you go. And push down on this pin here. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm in. All right, this is done. Let's go back to the rear of the gun here. I'm first going to clean up some parts, and I'll be right back. All right, I did a quick clean, and I'm going to show you this time how to put back everything. Let's start with the hammer. Remember, this part here interlocked there. Because a lot of parts interlocked, you have a lot of moving parts, I suggest to put a slight amount of oil everywhere. There is a drawback to it, is you will have a lot more gunk on this gun because of all the oil you're gonna have to put everywhere. That is a drawback. All right, so back in the hole, back in here, and let's grab it. Somehow again, camera and guns do not always mix. Okay, and you want that bar to be on top of the trigger bar, but we're gonna have to raise it anyway. This is the pin that you're going to insert this way, and you will have some friction there, so you want a little bit of oil. Okay, and it's just a push. Let's see, there we go, until it stops. Then you need to raise that arm to finish sliding that part or that pin. There we go. And if the arm moves, then the pin is right where it should be. Okay, so that part here should be on top of the trigger arm, okay? Before we put back anything, anything on the Sear, I need to put back that little spring right in this hole here. Okay, and then this block. Now the block has a cutout right here, and that cutout is for that bar. So there is not too many ways it can go in. The cutout, you want it on the left, right there. There you go. Oops, something like this. Let's hold it down somehow. And the pin goes this way. If you put the pin now, it will help hold the block in place. Go gently, you can see it. Find the hole. There you go. You push it, wiggle it, and when it shows up on the other side, pressure, you see, it comes out on the other side right here. You don't want that because you need to put a part right in this area. So you retract a little bit. There you go. But the nice thing is that pin is holding everything there. So it's doing a great job. All right. Now for here we have, remember the little bearing and that part? Now that part goes this way, the hook. There you go, that way, press it back. You need to put a little bit of oil where, on the other side, on the left side, where the bearing is gonna go, and by putting some oil as well, it will act like glue, so it will hold the bearing together. And then you are going to slide that part here, gently, and push the pin. Relieve some pressure there. There we go. And oh, beautiful. That was easy. And it's in. So let's see. The gun is working fine. And if I pull the trigger and pretend there is a spring, poof, it's coming back. Okay, so it's working perfect. Now, what will lock that pin in place is the extractor. The extractor does so many things. It's beautiful. But you need to put back the extractor spring. The spring, you find the slot right there. Okay, and then remember the spring goes there. I would put a little bit of oil. Now again, the problem is with all that oil, it's gonna keep the grind everywhere. Push, there you go, it's in. So now that pin, let me show you, will not come out. Done. Everything locked into place. Last, the spring that retains the decocker needs to go into that little hole right there. Okay, it's not very complicated. With the other hook or the other end of the spring forward. There we go. Not very complicated. Again, the other end facing you, the front of the gun. This side first, remember, up in the hole, and push down on the trigger bar. There you go. You can lower it, fine. And finally, the other side, we're gonna wiggle around to go into the spring. So the whole up, down, there we go, the spring, all right. And now it needs to go on the other side. Okay, at that point I give you a trick. So put it in, but don't push all the way, all right? Wiggle, 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 put it in. Oh, I'm almost in. What I'm going to do is move those arms up. And as I do that, you can see this end of the springs, the end of the spring is getting closer to that spring lock. All right, I take, let's say, a punch. I'm going to take the spring down. I don't know if it's a perfect tool. No, it's too rounded. All right, let's see. Take this little plier and take this. No, doesn't work either. I don't want to go find. There we go. Huh. Well, as I wanted to show you, it doesn't require much force. A flathead screwdriver would have been better, but it's in the other room. I did not want to go and find it. Okay, now you don't want to push it. It will lock up. So you want to gently bring it back. Make sure the spring stays there. All right. And when you are all the way back, that's when you push everything this way. There we go. And you are in position. Okay, now for the hammer spring. There we go. Into the hammer bar, whatever it is called. Remember that piece? Now that piece has a big problem. Every time you push it down to create pressure, it kind of move on the side. So what you need is a punch. So it's about right. You push it down, wiggle. Well, I use a smaller punch. It's already out of sync. There we go. So right now we are about in. Use a bigger punch. There. Okay. We are in. At this point, when I remove the punch, that pin will be able to go in without any effort whatsoever. So I keep my pressure down. Here's the pin. And there we go, coming out from the other side. Done. Back to the grips. There we go. We're gonna check if everything functioned correctly. And everything is good. Okay. So we are done. Until next time, see you guys.